Hello there, this is Dr. Dane Donahue, and this is your quick start guide for the wellness score. And I'm going to jump right in here. We want to go over just the basics of what you need to be able to run a wellness score. And remember, I always recommend when starting off, you want to think backwards. So you want to think about what the services are that you provide in your office and how you could substantiate or validate those services through the wellness score. Or what are some screenings or outside health fairs that you do, or things that you would be able to show a person their wellness score to drive them into your office as a new patient. So I'm going to go right into it. If you see over here now, we have all of the modules from Cash Practice in our wellness score system. This is actually my account that we use in our office. So if you highlight over the wellness score system, you're going to see all the things that are available to you. And I want to point out here on the right, this is one of the training videos. It's the quick start video, but you have other training videos as well on a consult, an exam, how we do our report of findings, how we do the core flexibility tests within the software. So there's tons of videos. This video is meant to be a quick start guide, so it's going to be a brief overview. If you want more in detailed information about setting up parameters, how to create a new parameter, how to create a new service or service group, that would be in here, okay? But for the purpose of this, we're literally going to go into what you need to do to start using this software immediately. Now, I want to go briefly into the wellness score settings. In here, for you to be able to run your wellness score, you need to create your parameter set. So in the software, you have parameters that are available to you. And so when you click on the wellness score, what I clicked on here is wellness score settings. Okay, so when you click on that, you'll see three tabs. What do you measure? What do you provide, and what do you score and recommend? For the purpose of the quick start, we're going to focus on the parameters. Now, if I click on this tab, parameters, you'll see all of the parameters that you have available to you. And this is really where you're going to want to take your time and think about what are the parameters that you want to measure. First of all, you're going to want to make sure you have the technology to be able to offer that parameter. So, for example, if you're running substation scanners or you do a core score in your office, you want to make sure you have that technology. If you run body composition testing like we do, you want to make sure you have a BIA. So don't pick a parameter that you don't have the technology to be able to run that. So you want to go through here. You'll see that there's 4 categories that we've set up in the wellness score. So you'll see here we have the neurospinal category, we have the general health category, we have a functional nutrition category, and then we also have a neurospinal category here. So neurospinal, functional fitness, general health, and then we also have a functional and nutritional health as well. And those are the categories that are available to you. So functional nutrition is right here. And that's all of the blood work that we provided as an access to be able to use blood work parameters in the wellness score. So what I would do if I were you is I would go to the parameter sets and just scroll through here and figure out what parameters you want to use in your wellness score. Really give this some thought. We recommend trying to pick some of the functional fitness categories. If you offer functional fitness or a way for a person to do rehab or do exercise outside of the office, this is a great category. If you're doing things where you want to look at general health, which is great, like blood pressure and their BMI, if these are things that you see improve with your chiropractic care, you want to select these parameters. If you're truly what I would consider a straight chiropractic office, you may want to just stick with the neurospinal categories, things like x-ray and your substation scans and palpation. These are great parameters for the chiropractic part. But give some thought to this. Go through this list. We've highlighted a lot of this. Also recognize in your wellness score system, you have more information over here on the wellness score parameters. So you can click on this tab right here, and it will give you a descriptor of each parameter set that we've created for you in the wellness score. So you can literally read what is the description that's actually available to the patient when they get the report. This is how the parameters actually describe to them. So that you have available here in the wellness score parameters. Okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to click on this and just show you how you would initially set up your parameter set. It's very, very simple. Now recognize that we have loaded in there some pre-programmed parameter sets. Most chiropractors aren't going to use the ones that we've loaded in. Like, for example, in our office, we run 8 weeks to wellness, so there's our 8 weeks to wellness parameter sets. This is our general new patient parameter set where we don't do blood work. We do all of these other functional parameters like blood pressure, waist circumference, and palpatory subluxation rating, and their digital posture pictures and their x-rays. So we do a lot of different parameters on our general new patient. But you'll see there's some here that you're going to see in your wellness score. Now, these are custom to our office, so you're not going to see these loaded, these 8 weeks to wellness ones, because they're custom to our office. but we have given you some basic parameter sets like a basic functional wellness one or a chiropractic only one, and you can utilize these. The other thing that you can do is copy these. So if you want, you can copy this and add to it or delete from it to create your wellness score. So recognize these are the parameters available in this. If you wanted to, without creating a new parameter set, you could just copy this, and I'm going to do that for you real quick, is copy this basic functional wellness set. You could rename it to your office. Let's say it's Smithtown Wellness Center, a new patient exam. So you can then copy this and then add to this or take away from this. So you'll see in there that the parameter set that I just copied should be loaded in here. And let's just take a look. Here it is right here. It's the one that I just copied. So it's this copied. And then I would just rename this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is rename this. Okay? So we're going to call it Smith. Let's see. Go in here. Smithtown Wellness Center New Patient Exam. Okay? I would save that. And then what I can do is then assign more parameters to it, or I can delete parameters from it. So that's really important. You'll see that this now saved under the new name. And there it is right there. And then what I could do is, let's say I want to add some parameters, like I want to add the foot leveler scan to it. I can just click on that. Or let's say I wanted to just subtract one. I don't want to measure a resting heart rate. So I can go in here and delete that parameter. So you can add to it or delete from it by just copying an existing parameter set and adding to it. Now let's say that you don't like the sets that are up there. You can just start out with your own. You just type in here Smithtown Wellness Center, okay, and then just create your own parameter set and add parameters that you want to it. Now once that's done, you save that, and then you can successfully run an exam set. Now I'm going to do that right now, where it says here, wellness score, run exam set. Now, the first thing you'll notice is what exam set I'm going to run. So I'm going to run one that we normally do on our new patients. So this would be the one that you create. The second thing to recognize is that you have to make sure that that person is created in the software. So they've been added. If they have not been added, if it's a new patient, you can always add them by clicking New and typing in their information. Recognize, and I'm just going to make a name up here. We'll call Mickey Mouse. They need the name first and last, the gender, and then the birth date. So those are the four things that absolutely have to be in there. We'll give Mickey a birth date. Okay. And we can save that. Now you're more than welcome to put in all that other information like their email. If you're using the drip system, you may want to have all that information in your database, but you absolutely need to create those. So once I created that, I can come in here and I can type in Mickey, and I think I missed the C, Mickey. So Mickey Mouse is now in there, so we can then run the exam set on him. So I'm going to go down here, and it's going to ask me what service group I want to use. For the purpose of this quick start, we didn't load in a service group, and you haven't yet, but for the same token that you entered a parameter set, you can enter a service set that will bring in the recommended chiropractic services or physical therapies or nutrition or any services that you want to assign to that wellness score. So you can custom create basically a care plan that is then going to address the deficits that you found in that wellness score. But for the purpose of this, we haven't talked about that. You can go and research how to do that. So it's very cool in our office if we do 8 weeks to wellness care plan or we do a 3-month care plan. So we can assign, and I'll just show you this, we can assign a service group to this. So let's just put in numbers here real quick. Okay? We can put in, see now here's where it brings in the units. So chiropractic adjustments, fitness trainings. So how many units? Let's say I'm going to do 24 units over a 3-month period of time with that person. So after we do the wellness score, we can go back and put in the services, and that will show up on their report so that we can show them a care plan. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to do 88. Waist circumference is 35. Resting heart rate is 78. Weight, let's say, is 190. BMI is, let's say, 28. Waist to hip, let's say, is 0.9. Fat mass, let's say it's 26%. HRV, let's say, came up at 72. Phase angle, let's say, came up at 7.1. Intercellular water, let's say that came up at 56%. MSQ, 34. And I'm putting in kind of real numbers that we see on an ongoing basis. palpatory subluxation. I palpated 4 subluxations in the spine, 15% on the digital postural picture, and let's say they have 4 phases of decay in their spine. So then I'm just going to save that, and you can see it didn't take long for me to create that. And we have our staff create this for us. Now once I have the data in there, I can look at that wellness score, and I can click on this right here, and it's going to bring up the wellness score. Okay, and what I do in my office is I'll look at the wellness score report, look at where their deficits are. Like one deficit is the resting heart rate. One deficit, real bad deficit, if you look over here at the red, you know, the green areas is where they're doing good, yellow is where there's a challenge, and red is where there's a real functional deficit. So you want to look at these, and then based on their wellness score, I create a care plan that's going to address the functional deficits that I saw. So once I take a look at their care plan, I can go back in here and say, okay, I want that person doing 24 adjustments over a 3-month period of time. I want them to do 24 fitness trainings over a 3-month period of time. Let's say they're going to be in for 12 weeks, so I want them to get 12 massages in a 3-month period of time. Physical therapies, we're going to have them do, let's say, muscle stim, or we're going to have them do anodyne or a cold laser. And let's say they're going to get 24 units of that over a 3-month period of time. And then we're going to give them 1 pair of orthotics in their 3 months. Okay? And so I can then save that, go down here and save, and then that will then I'll be able to print that up. So I can click on my patient summary. It's going to pull up now the whole wellness score, and I want to show you this so you see exactly what's going to be on the wellness score. Now, hopefully you've learned through customer service how to upload your logo and your office information. It's important that this is uploaded into your software so this prints on every report. Hopefully you've also been instructed that when you highlight over the logo, that's how you print up. So if I want to print that, then I would just highlight, click over the logo, and be able to print this wellness score up. You'll see that this first page here, it's going to give them all their target ranges, the data that they entered, and then also give them the red, green, or yellow rating to each of their wellness score. You'll see the second page will then break out those parameters into the different categories, so functional fitness, general health, neurospinal, and all the parameters that were measured. You'll see that the third page is what I call the educational page. It shows them the wellness continuum. It shows them, listen, Mary, if I start getting you exercise, we increase your functional fitness. If we start getting you adjusted, if we start improving your general overall health, like your blood pressure and your BMI, you're going to see how that wellness grade is going to go up throughout the course of your care. It's going to then give them the educational piece on the 3 T's of subluxation and stress, so that you can start to show them that there is an underlying cause to subluxation, and we do want to address your lifestyle. And then finally, it's going to give them their recommendations. And we have our patients sign and date this, and this is how we go over their care plan. Mary, we're going to see you for 24 visits over 3 months at a time, and during that time we're going to do 24 exercise sessions with you and 1 massage per week over the course of your care. So you can go over all of this with them, and then the last page is all of the data that we measured and explanation of that data. So they can read for the analyticals, they can read about what is diastolic pressure, what's the waist circumference, what should my BMI be, what should my waist to hip ratio be. And this is just a great tool, guys. I just love the wellness score. Every time I look at it, I'm like, this is just such an awesome tool. For me, it'd be like trying to build a house without hammer and nails. You need basic tools in your practice to show patients the evidence that they need your care. So remember, I always say patients can't correct a problem they don't know exists. And so we as chiropractors must show our patients beyond a shadow of a doubt. I always say that patients are guilty or innocent in my office until proven guilty. Just like in the court of law, people are innocent until proven guilty, and likewise, people are healthy until you prove them unhealthy. And a wellness score is going to be your way to show them that, listen, even though you may not have symptoms in this area, this is a problem area for you, that you're headed towards a symptomatic problem. So hopefully that was a good overview. We kept it nice and short. Please recognize there's tons of resources. Like I said, if you want to learn more about how to create your parameters, you can do that here. If you want to learn more about how to create a service group and the services you offer, you can do that, how the wellness score is scored. And there's other training videos as well, so please seek those out. Also recognize that we've given you guys forms. So some of the parameters in here are things that are related to a subjective form, like a SF-36 form or a medical symptom questionnaire, and you can download these forms. You can also download our consult and exam form that we use in our office. Remember what I said, my staff enters my wellness score. So I fill out my exam form, I give it to my staff member, they enter the data in the wellness score system, and poof, they print up my wellness score report for my report of findings. So you have a lot of resources that are available to you. You also have a quick start guide here that I would recommend downloading that and printing that up. So hopefully this was a helpful training for you. If you have any questions, please get a hold of customer service at Cash Practice. They know this software in and out and are there to help you.